friends, I'm Sydney Mami bringing you easy, healthy, traditional recipes which are also tasting really good. Today is my 9-part first video of my 9 video series for Navarathri 2024. On day 1, I am making this Prasadam made of Channa Dal. It is called Channa Dal Sundal and it is quite well known in the southern part of India. It's a traditional and a healthy snack. Which is usually distributed to guests in the evening. Let's get into it.
Yep.
So let's begin. I'll show you the ingredients first. I've got the chana dal soaking in water for about an hour now, and I'll show you the other ingredients to make this spice powder that I will be using for the sundal. So for that we need one tablespoon of actually less than 1 tablespoon of dhania, which is coriander seeds, and around the same quantity of urad dal and chana dal. And then I've got for the seasoning, I've got a small 1 teaspoon of peppercorns, jeera, which is cumin seeds, and then these flakes, chili flakes, and asafoetida powder. And I've also got like 1 cup of desiccated coconut. Then I will also be using the curry leaves, the green chilies, and the ginger for seasoning, and of course mustard seeds as well. So the first step is to cook the chana dal first in water, adding salt to it. Salt to taste. You can't taste it because we are making it as a prasadam for God. So you have to kind of maybe err on the side of caution and put less salt. If you're not sure, you can always add salt later. So we'll wait for this to boil over. This will take, I would say, 5 to 7 minutes at least. The chana dal doesn't have to be too mushy. It'll just be like al dente that we say for pasta, just enough to like a bite size, like a bite. It doesn't have to be too mushy, so it's not going to take too long. When we came here first to Australia, we did not have many Indians here. I would say it was around 200,000 for the entire country. That itself would be a higher estimate, I think. In the weekends, there were no shops. So if you want to buy any groceries or any vegetables or anything, you can't buy any of that. So all the shops are like offices 9 to 5, that's it. On Thursday nights, we had late night shopping until 9 o'clock at night. So that is another window for buying anything. So when I came here, I arrived here with a toddler, and I wasn't quite aware of this, that the shops closed completely, and I had not stocked up on milk and bread, I think, for her. We just realized on Friday evening at 5 o'clock that she didn't have milk or bread for the weekend, and for us as well. So we didn't even have a car. We had to go by walk to our suburbs and trying to find a place which will have any kind of thing, and we finally found a small place run by a Sardarji, and he had milk. So from then on, I was very particular about stocking up during the week. So these are all the early experiences. Don't even get me started about Indian shops. There was only 2 Indian shops in all of Sydney. So you had to catch a train, traveling like a few stations, and then go and collect the, there was only 1 shop there, so there was no competition. So the prices were all really high, but we didn't have a choice. The other thing was there was not one Indian restaurant in Sydney. So there was no way of eating out. So the first time we ever ate out was about 5 years after we arrived here in 91. So around 96, they opened up a student North Indian diner in a faraway place. So we actually drove and we had our first Indian meal outside the house after 5 years of arriving here. So these were all the initial struggles. So I'm so glad now we have so many spice shops everywhere. Every second suburb has got an Indian spice shop and an Indian restaurant. So things are much easier now. I'm going to check on the chana dal now. So it's starting to boil, so now we just remove this foam. We don't want that. Okay, so as it boils, it will bring up all this foam, so make sure you take them all out. We don't want them. So I think while it's bubbling away, I'm going to do the spice for the sundal. So if you make this spice powder at the beginning, you can make enough quantity which will last you for the entire Navarathri. For all the 9 days, you can use it for the sundals that you make. You have to make 1 sundal every day for most of the days. Where you are making a sweet like puttu or a sweet like a kesari or something, you may skip the sundal. but usually most people have sundal every day. This is again a habit from India because girls used to visit us in the evening to the houses. So we don't want to give them sweets too much. So we just make sure that the sundal, which is a healthier snack, is better for the kids. So that is the reason why we make sundal every day. So you are not restricted to make only sundal for prasadam. As you will see in the next 8 days, I will be making other things as well because we don't have many kids coming in every day to ask for prasadam now. Putting in the chili flakes and the asafoetida powder. Yeah, I think they're all nicely roasted now. So I'll let it cool and then grind it. I am adding the grated desiccated coconut. Leave this in the pan. I've turned off the pan, and once it's cool I will grind it to not a very fine paste, but quite a fine, but still with a slight coarseness in it. Now I'm going to test the Channa Dal just to see if it's done. Again, you can't taste it, you just have to use your fingers to see if it is al dente. Yeah, I think it is. Okay, we'll turn it off. So in that heat itself it will cook a little bit more. So we'll leave it there, then strain it out. Well, before straining, I'm going to grind this first in a spice grinder. I'll just put it here, and then after it is cooled down, I'll put it in an airtight container. So remove all the excess water. This water, don't throw it away, you can use it in cooking. Now let's finish off the sundal with the seasoning. So I've put in a small fry pan. I'm going to add some oil to it. Okay, that will be like 2 teaspoons. Then wait for it to get heated up. In the meantime, I've got 2 green chilies, a small piece of ginger cut into small pieces, it's a very small piece, and then I've got the curry leaves, and I'll be using the spice powder. Just adding the urad dal. I have already added the asafoetida powder to the spice mix, but just to be on the safe side, I will add a little more here as well. Now to add the green chilies and the ginger pieces. So just wait until they are all like nicely fried, then add the curry leaves. Now for that much of sundal, I am adding about this much. You don't want to put too much of masala also. I am adding a bit more of the shredded coconut just on top like that. It is not necessary. I have already added desiccated coconut, but this is just for presentation. So after we have done all that, we take this and put it into the have it in a slight sim, very low, because there's no water in it, so you don't want to burn it. This is just to make sure they all spread together evenly. For Naivedyam purposes, I have got special containers which I don't use otherwise. I am only using these for Naivedyam. So that way it's not contaminated with our saliva or anything like that. So I filled it up. So that's the finished product. Channa Dal Sundal with the specially prepared spice powder and other seasonings.